we've talked many times here on the show, Dolph, about how difficult it can be to figure out the best Social Security claiming decision. But Mary Beth Franklin is the editor for Investment News and tells Morningstar that it becomes even more complicated for people who unfortunately lose a spouse.
The Social Security Administration's Inspector General's office did a random survey of the type of advice that Social Security representatives were giving what they call dually entitled beneficiaries, someone who had a retirement benefit and also a survivor benefit. And that report found that in 82% of the cases, the Social Security rep gave the wrong advice.
Wow.
So if Social Security reps are giving bad advice, Dolph, I mean, how are the rest of us that are regular people with regular jobs supposed to figure out which strategy is the best way for us to maximize our benefits?
Again, every situation, Kristen's different when it comes to Social Security, which is a very key component to your retirement plan. Too many people count on Social Security to support their retirement, but it's supposed to be utilized as a supplement towards your retirement. Mm-hmm. But simple result to this, Kristen, is know the facts before it happens. Be prepared before it happens. I mean, just because you're 58 years old or you're 60 years old or you're 63 years old and you're not taking Social Security yet, don't you think it'd be a nice idea to learn about Social Security before you start taking Social Security? Are your advisors or are people talking to you about Social Security? It's very important because you got to be prepared for the what ifs in life. You got to be prepared for a worst case scenario. Hiccups happen around the board. And if you have a hiccup in your retirement and you're not prepared about Social Security, who do I go to? What do I say? How do I file? What happens with Medicare? I mean, there's a lot of unknown questions out there. And it's not just something like, hey, you're going to pick up the phone and at 65 years old, I'm going to file for Social Security. Or 65, I'm going to file for Medicare. Like Jeff, who's a Medicare agent in my office who helps clients all the time, and he's helped them tremendously answer those questions. It's not, and they don't realize is, a couple months out to 65, Kristen, I got to file for Medicare. And then they go on the computer and they're looking at a screen going, what language is this?
No kidding. And there's so many different types of Medicare. It's hard to diagnose and figure out.
And then when it comes to survivor benefits, on top of it, I mean, a sad story that I can think of, but a good ending part of it was Camille. It's been a client of mine for well over 12 years. And during the whole process, her husband, Jerry, we're talking about what if one of them predeceases the other? What are they going to do for their income? How are they going to handle Social Security? And we learned, studied, and got the plan in place. Unfortunately, 3.5 years ago, Jerry passed away. And it was a sad day, but we immediately had the game plan in place. And I'll never forget Jerry holding my hand a couple of weeks before he died. She said, please take care of Camille for me. And she is such a wonderful woman. And now we have her benefits, his benefits versus her benefits, which is a heck of a lot higher, in place, so she didn't have any suffer of it. And then there was a sad story. I met this client about 3.5 weeks ago, Lori. I mean, her husband died 6 years ago. She's been struggling for the last 6 years for income. She didn't work that much throughout her life. Her Social Security was around $1,100 a month. Well, her husband, Richard's, was around $3,200 a month. That's a $2,100 a month difference, Kristen. Just think about that. 6 years ago, her advisor never told her. She did not know she was eligible for Richard's survivor benefit, and the portion of that she would get the higher benefit. So she lost 6 years of her life because she was never informed, she was never prepared. So we took with Lori and we sat down and we're getting her the correct benefits. But she suffered for 6 years. She had to work a part-time job at a local place just to get by. So knowing versus not knowing is so important when it comes to Social Security. Be prepared for the unknown.
On behalf of Dolph Janis and the team at Clear Income Strategies, thank you so much for making the Income Strategy Show a part of your weekend. News 1110 and 99.3 WBT.